What's up, guys? My name is Freddy Ayala. I'm a second year at the University of Georgia studying finance and economics. And the reason I'm outside is because I live in a two-bedroom apartment with 7 other people, and it's a very small space, so it can be nearly impossible to find a quiet space to film. So I came outside. I do enjoy the outdoors, so it's always good to be outside and get a fresh air and not be barricaded in my workspace or home. So I want to film the We Belong in College experience, and I've taken the time to look at every other individual's videos, and within those videos and people's stories who are willing to be vulnerable and inspire people, I saw a bit of myself in it, and I like to share my own experience from high school to my life to even in college. So for me, the battle was just as hard getting into college and being in college. It's a battle that's been full of sacrifice and hard work. My undergrad first year, freshman year, I had to go by with no meal plan due to my financial limitations. So, scraping by for food while my other friends and peers were always just going into dining halls and eating. It was definitely humbling and in a difficult situation, but I was able to meal prep, cook, eat the same meal maybe the whole week. But it's been a humbling experience that's definitely motivated me to be an overachieving student and to one day have the chance to not have to make my kids or anybody in my family ever go through that. And of course, my second year of college, living off campus, I definitely spent a couple of days couch surfing, living on my friend's floor. But overall, it's still been full of good times. No matter the situation, you can always find happiness, and college is definitely great because there's so much freedom. And for me, being a first generation student from a family of immigrants, it was very difficult for someone who barely knows the languages to find the financial documents in order to receive aid. So for me, financial aid took months, if not more. It was definitely a difficult process in order to even get aid, because not only did I have to take it upon myself as a first generation student who didn't know what documents, what income statements, what tax forms to use, where my parents do their taxes, it was difficult. And it wasn't just like my peers who just asked their parents for this I-87 document and they got it instantly and they could upload it online. For me, I had to scramble through and receive it through mailing and send my documents through mailing, and just to find out that after a month's wait, it was the wrong documents, missing information. So it was definitely a trial error process, and it was something that really made me different from my peers. Receiving financial aid was a difficult problem, and it's definitely been different for me and my peers having to send mail while they can just put it through online because they have access to that, and people like first generation students or immigrants don't really have that privilege. So those who need sometimes the most aid are least accessible to it. But it's definitely a experience that's further pushed me to succeed. And another experience that I had that's been difficult for me to overcome was English. English has always been the hardest thing for me. I can write essays and passed over 10 AP exams: English, Comp, Lit, and English Lang. So definitely when it comes to diction and syntax and difficult English stuff, I'm there. Like it's my game. But when it comes to more grammatical and like analyzing synthesis, especially spelling, it's the end of the world for me. I promise you I cannot spell to save my life. And part of it has to do maybe because English is my second language, but also because I'm dyslexic. So it's so hard for me to spell correctly, and sometimes when words in a sentence don't make sense to someone else, it makes total sense to me. So you can believe that the SAT standardized testing was the hardest thing for me, especially the English portion, because I cannot, when it came to the grammatical sections, I was done. Like, I thought everything looked right. Like, that option that says do not change anything, that's what I thought. And it was definitely difficult for me. I had to put in the work and study just to make an average score, and to me that was a success in and of itself, to receive an average score. And I thought I'd be limited by my options when it came to schools, when it came to scholarships and all that. But that certainly was not the case. I was able to receive recognition at the county, state, and even national level. I was also able to become my senior class's president for the 2018 year, which then I was entitled to a speech, which was both a difficult yet rewarding task. But through it all, what really got as hard as high school and college got was remembering my upbringing. Particularly, there was an incident that happened to me growing up during middle school, I think, or elementary school, where my father at work had injured his ankle while landscaping. So he went to the doctor, and they told him that he wouldn't be able to walk, and for a couple of months. So for many people, you got workers comp, you got insurance, you get to pay to stay home, let's go, right? But for my family, that was not the case. They did not have insurance, nor did he receive workers comp. So it was definitely a difficult time financially for us. And for my father, it was a difficult one emotionally. He had to sit by as his family was struggling financially, and he was told by the doctor, don't go back to work, you just let it heal for a couple of months. But somehow my father, being the man, and he usually doesn't listen to doctors' advice, he somehow fought the pain and was able to limp by and somehow mow lawns with his foot propped up on the lawnmower. It was the driving ones, to help my family meet ends meet. And of course I would go by him after school. He would pick me up and I would go help him on his work. So I'd be doing the walking stuff that required manual labor, while he would mow the lawns and tell me what to do specifically. So it really just helped me remember that looking to my father and looking at my family, regardless of how difficult life got and how they had to wake up early, work till late, they ate tacos and salt so that I was able to have my mac and cheese. And through it all, they always found a way to smile, and they never found a way to give up, or they never complained about it. So it really just really motivated me to never complain. Like, my parents, my family, they never complained about things that were much more difficult. So why do I have to complain about this assignment that I don't want to do? Why should I complain about this thing I don't want to do that's so insignificant to my parents' sacrifice? So they somehow always found a way to smile. So I kind of made it my life mission to give a reason for my parents waking up every day so early, to have a reason to smile, to have a reason to be proud. And I found that being the best individual I could be through my academics as an individual, and being very respectful to them, was that way. And I would never trade my life for the world. All these experiences, these hardships, these barriers, anything that life threw at me, I humbly loved it, because I firmly believe that had I been in a different situation, had I been living in a different way of life, I wouldn't be such an overachieving, hardworking student that I am today. And that's what I challenge every one of you guys, is that all our situations are different. I understand that some of you guys may have it better than me. Some of you guys may even have it worse. But as hard as life gets, I want you guys to remember that to use these barriers, these hardships that you are having to overcome, as wood to throw into the fire that is determination. And never give up. Keep working hard to make those who love you happy and smile. Thank you guys for listening to my story. I hope you guys have a wonderful day.